Hey y'all, John here, J.VENT Outdoors. So just kind of wanted to show y'all how I do a couple of my homemade fire starters. So the first one we're going to do today is my petroleum cotton rounds. Alright, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to melt down just a little bit of petroleum jelly. Alright, so everybody does them differently. I take my cotton rounds and I just drop them into the melted petroleum jelly as you see here, and I make sure that they're completely soaked, and then I take them out, let them drip off a bit. Oops. And place them on the cooling rack. Now you're not limited to just cotton rounds, you can also use the cotton balls. Alright, same thing, once it's absorbed, take them out, place them onto your cooling rack. Now, while these are cooling, you can move on to the next step, which will be melting down your wax. Let me clean out this pan and we'll add the wax in. Alright, we're back. Throw the wax into the pan, get our heat up, and let this begin to melt down. Now, while we're waiting for this to melt, I'll tell you two other ways that I do these rounds as well. Okay, so starting from dry, I take some of my fatwood dust and throw that right into the middle of my round. Just like this. Alright, then I fold the one side over and the other side over and pinch it down tight. Now once the wax is melted, this will get dipped into the wax and then set on the cooling rack. So I'm going to set this to the side and we'll dip them in once the wax is melted. The other round that I make, or what I like to call as a biscuit, is using, again, either the fat wood with some additional pine sap or resin added to it, or Pine Fire Shop sent me this beautiful slag, which is basically the same thing. And so what I've been doing with this is I've been taking chunks of this out, and instead of using the fat wood, and I take my round, I place that slag right there in the middle, and I fold it over like a taco or a dumpling. I think they look like those little biscuit cookies, you know what I mean? So I fold those over like that, and then I dip those in the wax. Alright y'all, so the wax is now melted. So we're going to go ahead and start our process of finishing up our fire starters. So first we're going to start with the petroleum ones. And what I do here is kind of like how I did the slag biscuits, is I throw in some fat wood dust instead of the slag. And do that to all three of these. Alright, so I put the dust in there, and then just like the biscuits, we're going to fold them in half. Alright, so then we're going to take these and we're going to dip them into the wax. Coat them about 2 times. Pull it out, drain it off, and onto the cooling rack. Alright, now the fatwood rounds. Again, dip, flip, drain. And then the slags, same thing, dip, flip, and drain. If it looks like you need some additional wax, then go ahead and add some additional wax. Alright, so as I was saying, on these biscuits that have the slag in them, as you can see here, there's a couple of spots that didn't fully get waxed over. Now the slag has plenty of resin in it, so it's pretty much waterproofed on its own, but we're going to go ahead and take care of it just to be on the safe side. So take your melted wax and just come in here and just do another dip right along that edge, pull it out, and let it dry. So I'm going to let these cool, and then we're going to take a look how each one lights up. Stick with me. Alright y'all, so I'm going to show you how I start up these fire starters. Now, I'm not going to time them. They all run anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes of burn time, depending on which one you use. But I will show you how I prep them and get them started, and you can see how they burn. Alright, so as always, I'm John with J.VENT Outdoors. Until next time, be prepared, be safe, be alive, and be happy. Later, y'all.